Well, I just think, Jenna, because the Patriots can win in so many different ways, the Patriots end up winning. If we can go through the ways that we have won the last 4 weeks, you have to pick your poison. Now, the Colts want to make it all about Mac Jones because it feels like they just watched the Bills game and acted like it was in a dome. Well, it wasn't. It was in a tornado and a blizzard combined. But we can win by scoring a lot of points like we did against the Browns. We can shut you out like we did against the Falcons. Mac Jones can throw for a lot of touchdowns, and we don't have to run the ball that much against the Titans. Or Mac Jones doesn't have to throw it all, and we'll just run it down your throat like we did against the Bills. So for that reason, Broussard, as much as I like Jonathan Taylor, we know that Belichick's number one thing is going to take away what you're good at. And Jonathan Taylor has been the best running back in the league since Derrick Henry went down. I think he neutralizes Jonathan Taylor, and the Patriots end up winning. And the Chiefs have a nice 48 hours on top of the AFC, and then we'll look back on top come Sunday morning.
Wilds, obviously you're right about Belichick. That's a great point that he can take away what you do best. But I still think your boys are going down. And it's not because Indianapolis is better than New England necessarily. It's because, one, New England's due. All right, they've won 7 straight games. They're not that good where they're just going to run the table the rest of the season. They're going to lose some more games. And I think they lose to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is more desperate. All right, New England's got a 2-game lead in the AFC East. I'm not saying they relax, but subconsciously they do have a cushion, whereas Indianapolis has got to keep winning to stay in this playoff race. So I think that's a factor as well. And Indianapolis is playing great, just like New England is. They've won 7 of their last 10. They've won 4 of their last 5. And their 3 losses over the last 2 weeks, all by 1 score against the Ravens, the Titans, and when they had Derrick Henry, and the Buccaneers. All right, here's the other thing. You mentioned Belichick taking away Jonathan Taylor. Well, I mean, the Patriots, we know, have a great defense, but it's really a great pass defense. They are susceptible and vulnerable to the run. We know a lot of years, Wiles, they're a bend, don't break defense. All right? And they have been a lot. Leonard Fournette almost had 100 yards. When they beat Tennessee, Tennessee had 2 guys, Dante Foreman and Dontrell Hilliard, go for 100 yards each, or 100 plus each. All right, so Jonathan Taylor, I think, is going to have a field day, and I think Indianapolis, Nick, gets this win.
Yeah, Indy wins. I agree with you, Broussard. I think Indy, in a weird way, can argue, I don't know if we can show their schedule, that they are as hot as the Patriots. Since September, they've lost 3 times. You guys mentioned it. 2 of the 3, Baltimore and Tennessee, were in overtime. And the other one was the Bucs game, where they were annihilating the Bucs. And then Carson Wentz had his first truly awful game of the year with the turnovers from a turnover perspective, and the Bucs end up coming storming back. They've played a tough schedule, and they have played it well. But Wilds, and I agree with Broussard that I don't think the Patriots' run defense is great, actually. I think that we have seen that throughout the year. I think they have a great pass defense. I think Jonathan Taylor's going to give them problems. But, Wilds, you keep bringing up this. The Patriots have so many options. They got so many different ways to beat you. So, listen, man, I know you and I don't go out to eat together because we used to say it was because of the pandemic, but now it's because of a true visceral dislike for each other that's developed over this football season. But if we did, I know from knowing people close to you, you're a bit of a foodie. You like nice, fancy restaurants. You like good stuff. And when you go to those places, Wilds, that you go to, whether it's Le Cirque or Per Se, one of your favorite French places, whatever.
Okay,
what does the menu look like? What does the menu look like? Do they got 100 things on it? Or it's like, hey, we have 8 items, and we make them all perfectly. This is what we do great. Meanwhile, you ever go to your local Denny's? Your local Dirty Spoon? You got Mexican food on there. You got breakfast. It could be middle of the night. You want a Reuben? No problem. You want chicken fajitas? We got it for you. and none of it's that good. So like, yeah, the Patriots have a big menu, buddy. But the question is, aside from pass defense, are they great at any of it? Is there any of it they're like, oh my God, that's the best I've ever had? No, it's not. And so the Colts, on the other hand, have a very small menu. We're going to play tough defense. We're going to run Jonathan Taylor. And we're going to be the best in the league at that specific brand. And that brand is going to run into your chicken tetrazzini, and it's not going to work out well, my friend. I'm just telling you right now. You're going to taste it and be like, should have gone with the bacon and eggs. Seems like something they know how to do.
Chicken.
You know what? You know I'm a sucker for a good analogy, so I'll just extend it. It's different when you've got the best chef in the world. It's more like that show Kitchen Impossible, Jenna, where it's like, hey, what do you want to make today? All we have is some leftover ketchup, some Ritz crackers, and some salmon.
Right.
And the master chef will say, like, today I'm going to make filet mignon out of that. I'm going to make a beautiful beef Wellington. How are you going to do it? I don't know. It's because he's a genius. So look, I don't know what Belichick's game plan is against the Colts, and I think that's the beauty of it. You kind of know, and this is not a shot at the Chiefs. Like, hey, Brandon Staley, guess what you should guard? Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Don't let them go for 330 yards. Against Belichick, hey, maybe we're going to throw the ball 40 times. Maybe we're going to throw it 3 times. I think that's what makes Belichick and the Patriots dangerous, and that's why they win on Saturday.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.